All right, hello. Thanks for joining me. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Craft Night with Friends. All right, tonight we are working on the Splendid Sampler 2. We are continuing on the Gran's legacy block here. We just started it last night, traced our pattern, and now we'll be cranking out some stitching on this. I think we'll get much farther than we did here because we don't have to transfer it tonight. It's going to be good. So thank you so much for joining me. Let's flip around and get going. All right, here we are tonight. Thanks everyone for joining me. Okay, I am on location tonight again at my parents' house. It has been a fun day. This is kind of our little vacation week with all of our family in town here. So, all right, we are working on the Gran's Legacy block from the Splendid Sampler to Quilt Along. We got it going last night, so we traced the design. I just literally traced it over the top of this. This is the pattern that comes with the book. And we decided last night to just stitch it completely all in one color. So like a true blue work scenario here. So I am going to stitch this entire thing in this dark blue. I think it's going to be just like awfully super duper pretty. I'm excited for it. So tonight we're going to just keep going. I'm not quite sure what I want to do. Hey, Terry from Rochester. We are actually in Wisconsin, but typically I am in Minnesota there. It wasn't 90 degrees again today. You'll have to let me know what the temperature is there. All right, so last night I was thinking that I would stitch this type just because that would feel like we got a lot done. But I also thought we could trace the entire design and that would feel like we got a lot done too. Oh, you got your embroidery. Oh, yes. So I have this here. So next week, this is our embroidery of the month, the hummingbird. So next week, we will be stitching this guy up a little bit. Ooh, Sylvia, it's 65, a bit hot by you. Dang, we are at least a good 20 degrees hotter right now. It has been stuffy and a bit stifling outside. Okay, I'm going to get my thread here. We're just stitching with 2 strands of floss. So I'm using the loop method of stitching, which is where I can just make a little loop to start instead of a knot, and instead of weaving in the ends. So I'm getting like twice as much thread as I would normally stitch. Oh my God, Jenna. Jenna says it's 98 in Minnesota today. That makes me want to cry a little bit. That is an unbearable Minnesota day. Ah. I hope everyone's air is working. That is a hot, and I'm sure it's muggy as all heck. That is a hot Minnesota temperature. Oh my gosh. All right, you guys, so I've threaded my needle and I've kept the loop on this side. Oh, Sylvia says my mom, I guess says it's 102. Oh, you're there in a month in Minnesota. It was 102 the day before we left. And I mean, it's not that much cooler in Wisconsin, that's for sure. Oh, man, I don't know if I want to stitch all this type. I kind of want to do the outline of this mug. You know what? I'm just going to do it. We are not going to think about it. If I want to do the mug, I'm going to do the mug. Let's do it. We will get to that type. So I'm starting my stitch. Oh, Amy says it's been a nice in the 70s here in Southern California the past few days. That sounds just about dang perfect. All right, so there's our loop from before. I'm going to actually stick my needle through that loop. Oh, that didn't work. There we go. Through. What? Oh, I'm getting it stuck on this corner here. It keeps bouncing back at me. Through the loop. All right. And then we're just going to pull tight. So it'll catch, the loop will catch the thread right there, and then we're secure. We don't need a knot or anything. That's awesome. It only works with like an even amount of floss, but it's been really great. All right, I'm going to just stitch around this shape. Maybe I'll stitch this handle, and then, you know, I'll have to come back and do all the interior of everything for sure. So last night I was trying to do more of that sewing method where I go in and out at the same time. So in and out, and then pull through. It's actually quite a bit faster than the stabbing method. So let's do the sewing method again. In and out, and pull through, versus the stabbing method where I go straight down, pull all the way through, and then straight up and pull it all the way through. I think you get some really good accuracy with the stabbing method, but man, this sewing method is just twice as fast, but I'm just not used to it, so I'm gonna practice. All right, why is it called floss? I have no idea. Versus floss versus thread. Gosh, I want to know that in general. There are just, I wonder if floss is just like a category of thread, or I don't know. I'm going to dig into that. That's a interesting question. I wonder what the like top category is and what are the subcategories. You know, like is thread the category and then subcategory is like floss and I don't know, yarn, and I don't know. I'm not sure why it's called floss. I know it's called 6-strand embroidery floss when there's 6 strands, individual strands with it. And I know that those are on purpose to come apart really easily. I know that's a thing with this particular thread, but no, I don't know the actual language reason for floss versus thread, but I'm curious. I'll have to look that up, see if there's any historical reasoning for that. Hey Wanda, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm cruising around this cup. I'm gonna stay with this kind of fun scalloped edge. We'll come back for the bottom. I was gonna do the type. That just seemed so fussy. For tonight, I'm gonna just make these big gestures to make myself feel like I got a lot done. That's my plan for the evening. So I got up early tonight and early this morning and picked some strawberries like my brothers did yesterday. We went out again today and picked some more. So I got up early, got up at 6:30 so we could be at the strawberry farm by, I think we were there around, I don't know, 7-ish. Picked 3 boxes of strawberries, like big boxes of strawberries. Bought some strawberry donuts, and those were delicious. Came home and Mom had the night before made some strawberry banana bread. We just had a strawberry day. Dad made strawberry smoothies. It was strawberries all over. So good. Got to go to the local coffee shop as a prize for picking all those strawberries. It was fun. Also did some frisbee golfing today. So it was a nice, fun day hanging out with the whole fam again. Oh, hello, Lenore. Yeah, in Kenosha. I'm in Wisconsin this week too. Wow, I feel like this is going really quick, going around the edge here. Oh, Lenore, no rain. We got a hair of rain, like just a spattering. It was barely on the radar, but we got some thunder and stuff too. So just the teeniest amount of thunderstorm rain, and then it went away. So we did get that, so that's new. But yeah, other than that, it hasn't been raining or anything here either. Okay, this feels good, getting this big shape done. Let's get all outside shapes done tonight, maybe. That'll make me feel like I got a lot done at least. Oh, does Chad come home in the rain? Chad does not come inside in the rain unless it's random for fun that we bring him in. He is 100% an outdoor cat, a working cat. So, you know, he'll keep the mice out of the garage and that sort of thing. And he definitely prefers it. Like, he'll come in every once in a while, and in winter we'll let him in just, you know, for a short period of time so he doesn't overheat. And he'll chill for a little while, but he'll get, you know, the wild animal will turn on again and he'll just not want to be inside anymore. He has the garage, and that has water and food and all that in it, and like a blanket, and it's warm in there. But he, I think, lives in the wood pile. I mean, he lives all over outside, and he'll grace us with his presence during the day, and that's the life of Chad a little bit. If he stretches before he approaches, you know, you'll be allowed to pet him. If he doesn't stretch, you know, it's pet him at your own risk. He might freak out. Oh, I missed that. Make a copy of the cup. I missed that last comment. It kind of faded off a little bit too quickly. Okay, I went around there. I'm kind of determining, should I even bother stitching anything else? You know what, I think I have like maybe 2 more stitches left. I'm gonna just start on this, gosh, should I maybe start up here? I'm gonna start on the handle. Where am I? Oh, I am closer to the top. All right, I'm gonna do like 2 stitches on the handle here. And then in my next one, I'll finish the handle, maybe come back up this side, and then maybe I'll get like this inside bit. I don't know. We're gonna meander around this shape tonight. I think tonight will be for meandering. Tomorrow will be for filling in the gaps, maybe. We'll see. So I literally think this is my last stitch here. I'm gonna pop into the back, weave in the end, but hey, I got 2 more extra stitches out of that floss. All right, so let's weave this in. I like our days when we just chill and embroider a little bit. That's nice. Uh-oh. Well, I guess I'm only going twice in that one. I ran out of floss there. Usually I like going 3 times back and forth, but we'll weave in the same spot, and that'll kind of lock this in place, I think. Okay, so let's get our next piece. Oh, we only have 2 pieces. We used 4 pieces on this already? That's kind of surprising. We only have 2 more strands here. I guess I'm using scrap thread, so this assumes that I started with 6 strands and not like 5 strands. There we go. All right, threading that side. All right, we're gonna do the loop method again. And once you have some stitches, you can actually loop behind stitches that you already have. So I'm going behind these stitches. I don't have to make a new stitch. Oh, geez, making a mess though. Hold on here. Okay, there we go. There's our loop. I'm gonna go through that loop, and I've just captured the loop around the backs of some stitches. That's an easy way to do it. All right, I'm gonna continue using the sewing method, practicing the sewing method. I don't use it very often, so I'd like to get better at it because it is twice as fast. I'm just not very accurate, I don't think, with it. But having the thread or having the fabric looser in the hoop has really helped my sewing method way of stitching. Like, it's helping me being way more accurate than having the fabric tight in the hoop. So that's been nice. All right, so I'm gonna go down, come back up, and maybe get one of these straight lines here. I've been keeping this nearby just to like double check that my lines, because I kind of have these lines are a little like spacey at some points. But that is the plan. if you use a lead pencil, does it smear when you touch it? So I have not, that's always kind of my fear too, Lenore, if because I do like tracing a design with just like a mechanical pencil. I think that's nice. It gives a nice sharp line. And I'm always a little bit afraid of it smearing. I think if you use like a normal, like traditional, like mechanical pencil, like don't use like a, like a drawing, like a 2B, specialty drawing pencil that like has a lot of like lead and softness to it. If you just use a normal, plain old mechanical pencil, I have not had the problem of it smearing or bleeding or anything like that. If anything, I feel like it fades a little bit with more handling. And then like after washing, it fades a little bit more. So I've had good luck with just a simple mechanical pencil. I actually sometimes like it a little bit better than the washable, but I do like knowing that this washable marker will go away completely. But with the mechanical pencil, I can usually get a little bit thinner line and it doesn't bleed like a marker does, like this does. So my stitches usually cover it really well. And so I do like a good mechanical pencil for these. We haven't done a stick and stitch version of this in a while. I'm hoping to have actually some stick and stitch patterns soon in the shop, along with our iron-on patterns. So you can choose. Let me know what you guys think about this. I like the idea of having an option of an iron-on versus a stick and stitch, that washable stabilizer stick and stitch, as just patterns. Because then, like if you were stitching on a light colored fabric, the iron-on transfer would be really great. But let's say you wanted to stitch that same design on like a really dark colored fabric. In that case, the iron-on would be fine for a light colored fabric, but a dark colored fabric, the stick and stitch would be good. Oh, Sylvia, thank you. Yes, I am sticking with my nightly deals here. I won't be here on Thursday, so just a reminder that I'll be here Wednesday, tomorrow, and then Friday, but I won't be here on Thursday. But yep, I am definitely still hanging out with family, and I'll hang out a little bit after this, but I didn't want to stop hanging out with you guys either. But I do appreciate you guys coming here tonight, for sure. All right, I'm coming up this way. We are going through this thread rather quickly, so we'll have to start a new one soon. Maybe now I'm feeling like putting in some more detail. I don't know. I kind of want to get this bottom part done too. Get the saucer, get the whole outline done basically, and then we'll work on all the inner details and the text. I think I'm getting a little faster and a little more accurate with this sewing method, and that's the goal. I wanted to practice the sewing method with this one. Ooh, Teresa says, had storms this afternoon, cooled off a bit. Cicadas are quieter tonight. I cannot believe the cicada situation that I've been hearing from people. We have cicadas. But in my head, they're like the middle of August, and you hear them in the trees, or you hear them like the buzzing, right? It seems like a late summer thing in my head, but I have never seen like how I've been seeing on like, Facebook and stuff, just people's photos of cicadas over everything and the screaming of the cicadas. That is not the same here. We have cicadas, but it's not like, holy cow, there are cicadas everywhere and landing on everything and I can see them. Like, it hasn't been like that for sure. And I don't think I've heard any cicadas yet. So that's crazy town. Like just seeing like just the photos of all these cicadas, that's crazy. We've had lake flies. We haven't had mosquitoes come out yet either in bulk, so that's been really nice, because then it gets pretty unbearable outside. Yeah, we went frisbee golfing today, and that's kind of in the woods here, and still no mosquitoes, really. Oh, brood cicadas. I'm really liking all the blue thread. Oh, thanks, Deborah. Okay, so just to let you guys know, I'm on YouTube only here while I'm on location, and the way that YouTube is working, the comments go off really quickly, so I missed the full amount of some of the comments here. So thanks for bearing with me. I'm not able to read all of them that fast before they fade away. Okay, so I have a little bit more thread still. I think I might as well just kind of do a few stitches down this path. This is just, you know, more lines here. Does clothing quality, oh, linen make good dish towels. So theoretically, I would ideally take a sample of it, or like a piece of it, and wash it. So I would do 2 tests. First of all, linen can shrink quite a bit, if I remember correctly. So you're going to want to see how much it shrinks, or you're probably going to want to, if you want to embroider on it, I would pre-shrink it. So throw it in the wash first. And then I'm not sure how well linen soaks up liquid. So that would be the second thing I test. I guess the real answer is I don't know offhand. But those are the 2 tests I would do. Like, how much will it shrink? And then will it really like accept water? Like, will it soak it up? And clothing quality, that's sometimes clothing quality is like thick for, you know, like a heavier weight thing, and sometimes it's thinner weight. So I'm not quite sure about that. I don't have a good answer for you. I'm not great with clothing stuff. Oh, if it's just for a decor, the water absorption wouldn't matter. That's true. So I have stitched on linen before, and it's beautiful to stitch on. And it has been for just decor, and so I haven't worried about shrinking or anything like that, or water absorption. But yeah, I think, I mean, just especially if it's a fabric I don't know, like with the linen, and I knew I was going to be using it for like a specific thing, like soaking up liquid in a tea towel or something, I would maybe give it a test, because I don't know, there's nothing more annoying than using a tea towel that doesn't soak up anything. Yes, Marie says I would still pre-shrink it before stitching. I think that's a good idea. Linen has a tendency to have a big shrink rate, I think, sometimes. All right, let's snip that little end. I think I have one more piece of thread yet. Yep, I have one more before I gotta cut a whole new batch. I think I want to go through this this saucer here. Maybe I'll do the saucer, get the end of this little, the little kind of loopy bit of this handle. That's probably all the thread I'll have. Good, but I feel like we got a lot done just getting this outline going. And then, you know, I didn't do any of this inside. Maybe I'll do that next. Then we can focus on some details. I know I'm kind of randomly stitching into things here and there. I'm just kind of using up thread in those spots. Okay. Okay, so let's maybe start with this little bloop-de-bloop here, and then I'll go around this edge. I think that's the plan. So I'm gonna just kind of capture the backs of some stitches again. I think that's a nice way to do the loop method. Underneath some stitches, through the loop, pull it tight, and we're ready. Oh, wait, where am I? I'm at the top. Nope, I'm at the bottom of this loop. Okay, so we'll start here. Try to do the sewing method around this shape. I'm really liking this blue throughout though. That was a fun idea, I think. Also doing this one color embroidery. First of all, it's like classic, you know, classic one color, especially classic blue. It's called like blue work. So it's got like some built-in like classic traditional style to it. But I don't have to make any decisions along the way. Like I don't have to think about, oh, what color is this supposed to be or anything. It's just all the same. That's kind of relaxing in itself. All right, I'm going to just do the stabbing method for these last couple little stitches, just to get a little bit more accurate on these little tight curves. All right, and now we'll go around this saucer, the outside of it. So let's start here, and I'm gonna just do the sewing method all the way around. Don't know if we'll get to the end, but we'll get close. But we should be able to do this pretty quickly because this is some nice kind of big straight areas. There's a little curve right at the edge here, but not too sharp. Easy peasy. Oh yeah, Deborah, and let us know how it goes. I'd love to hear. I don't. I kind of stick to the same stuff. Like I've been just stitching with this muslin. Oh, I guess this is just this white fabric, but I tend to find something I like and kind of just stick with it. But I do love the texture and feel of linen, and it's just so like pretty and luxurious feeling. So I should maybe bring that back into my repertoire of things to stitch on. It just feels extra fun and pretty. Go. Oh, and we when we went strawberry picking this morning. Oh, this poor. So it's in rows, like rows of strawberries, and then you just kind of go around the row and pick every strawberry you can find. And when you're done, you like put the flag where you left off, like a little flag, and then they know where to put the next people or whatever. This is the first time they've picked on this. They've picked on this particular field. Like they have like a back field and a front field. This is the first time they picked the front field of these strawberries. And there was a killdeer who made a nest right in the middle of one of these rows that we were going by. So if you guys don't know, a killdeer is a type of bird. It's kind of a ground bird. It makes its nest in like gravelly, stony areas. And it's one of these birds that if you get close to the nest, it'll, first of all, freak out. It'll start chirping, but it will run away from the nest. And it will fake that it has a broken wing. So it'll like waddle about and chirp with this kind of broken wing sort of look because it's trying to lure you away from the nest. And it's just like trotting on the ground with its two little legs, like a sandpiper almost, and just trying to get you to follow it. And these poor pair of killdeers were just doing all they could to get us and other people to not be in their particular row picking strawberries. But they were like literally right in the middle of some strawberries. And we took a photo. We could see their eggs and stuff because eventually the one just sat on the eggs and tried to look invisible. But man, so we had to tell the people when we were leaving, like the people that were picking that row, like, watch out, there's a nest there. You got to go around. And but these little birds, poor little birds. It was cute. But man, they were working hard to lure us away. Eventually they did, I suppose. We got further down the row and were away from their nest. It was cute. They were just chirping like crazy, though, at us. Okay, I think I got about maybe 8 more stitches. I don't think any more than that. So, pretty sure I'm not making it to the end of this this saucer, but what we could do is with the next thread we could finish up the loop, and then we could come back this way and do the small little running stitch that's right next to it. I think that'd be a good idea. So that is, I think, what we'll be doing. I do feel like just getting this outline, like we're getting a lot done though. That's kind of fun. So Jenna is mailing the rest of your embroidery of the months this week, and the rest of your orders. They are headed out. Oop, I'm gonna lose my thread here. I think this will be my last stitch. So I'm hoping that you have them all by next week when we start stitching. I'm excited for that one. It's just like feels like a really kind of vintage design, I think, and it'll be kind of fun. All right, let's weave in the end. I don't think I have enough thread to come back the other way, so I'm going to go in with the eye of the needle. There we go, 3 times. All right, we're cruising here. Oh, thanks, Marie. I hope so. I think this is looking like a sweet black too. I do like the blue. I think this is fun, just doing all one color. All right, I'm gonna fold this in half again. So we're gonna do the sewing method, or the loop method, where I have to kind of double up my thread, because I'll be like having the fold on one side. So it's about 18 inches or so, and then fold it in half, and I will trim it there. Boop. Okay, so let's get our next thing of floss. Like I said, I think I'm going to continue here. Then we'll come back around for this dashed line, and I don't know, there's more dashed lines all over this. The dashed line is the running stitch, so we haven't done that in this piece yet. Come on, guy. There we are. Oops, a little tangled. Okay, so let's match the ends. I hope everyone had a lovely day today too. It's so weird because I'm usually not away this early in the week. When we visit, it's usually like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday sort of thing. So I keep thinking it's like Saturday, but it's only Tuesday here. It's nice. Okay, I'm gonna start right there. Just gonna kind of loop in the back again. That's been nice. There we go. What a fast, easy, beautiful way to start stitching with that loop method. Okay. And yeah, I think we'll come back with that running stitch. The running stitch works great with the sewing method. I mean, it wants to be used with the sewing method. You just go in and out to make that dashed line. I did bring my swan and quilting project here. I kind of want to play around with that a little bit. I love that project, just some hand quilting. This embroidery reminds me of it, but ugh, that just gets so relaxing. keep this nearby. Okay, last kind of back stitch here. All right, I'm gonna come up here for the first little running stitch. And let's just go in and out. This is the part that's gonna feel like hand quilting. So that, I don't know, it's pretty tight already. I'm gonna have to only do a couple stitches with each thing, but with a running stitch you can go in and out more than once and get a few stitches in, which is great. Much faster than the stabbing method where you go in and out for each one. We're on this curve though. I think I'll go one at a time. Oops, jeez. There we are. This feels like hand quilting. There's a lot of little running stitch details in this whole piece. I'm actually not quite sure we're gonna get all this embroidery done this week. This is kind of a, you know, it's a little deceiving. Like it feels like a small design, but there's so much detail on the inside, like with all these little running stitches, all these little swirls and everything. And I mean, the text, that alone is gonna take a bit of time for sure. So I don't know, we'll see. Oh, and I'm not gonna be here on Thursday, so we just really have 2 more days that we're gonna be working on this. Yeah, this might head along into another month of the Splendid Sampler. But it's nice getting these kind of hands-on blocks done. I do like that. All right, let's see if we can get a few in this kind of straightaway here. I just feel like I'm not going to be able to pull too many stitches through this needle. Feels too thick for that, but here we go. We got a bunch, and I don't have a thimble either. I love Finish It Friday projects so much. You know, I feel like we've been getting so many of our Finish It Friday projects done. I kind of feel like I need to do like a household assessment of unfinished projects still, because some of these, I mean, we've been breaking out of the woodwork and getting done, like that sheep knit pillow. I mean, that was a literal like 10-year project, I think. I think I got the supplies for that like literally 10 years ago. And, you know, the jean quilt, that was another one that we finished. I mean, we're kind of getting these Finish It Friday guys out of the way. I think we do have quite a bit. Oh, exciting, Marie. Oh, and nice that you're relaxing a little bit. That's a nice project to have out of the way. Marie's finishing some like wedding alterations, it sounds like. That's gotta be feel good to get done. Speaking of alterations, I did bring that pattern for that Chore quilt, or Chore coat. I keep saying Chore quilt. I want to make it out of a quilt. That Chore coat pattern. I want to break that pattern out of the packaging and kind of measure how large of pieces I need to make, because I want to make this Chore coat out of the leader and ender quilt. And I need to know, like, I'm not going to actually make it out of an old quilt, right? Because I'm kind of sewing that part right now. So I'm going to make kind of like a fake, just the amount of quilt I need for the parts of this jacket. So I'm like, okay, so for that front side panel, I need 36 inches by, 18 inches. I want to know those measurements, like how big I need to make it, because I might actually have enough squares. Maybe not right now, but I'll at least know how many squares I need to make to accomplish this coat. And then I can like be done with the current leader and enders and turn it into like, make these fake quilted panels. Like I'll actually quilt panels, but it won't have come from a quilt. It'll have come from me making quilted panels. But yeah, make all those and then make something out of these leaders and enders. I think that would be fun. So I do want to measure that. Yes, and no waste. Exactly, Marie. And it's so funny because these leaders and enders are coming from old clothing. So then I'll be turning it into more clothing. I'll be sewing it into a quilt and then like old clothing to quilt and then quilt or quilted panels at least to this coat. So I'm pretty excited about it. So I just kind of want a general knowledge of, okay, how big do I need to make these panels before heading home? I want to know like what I'm making. All right, we got this bottom little texture done, this running stitch. That really adds a lot to it, I think. Okay, why don't we do... Oh, these are French knots at all these spots. I guess I didn't notice that. I was just connecting them into stitches. I'm glad I saw that. I might kind of start that line. First, I want to do this little bit here. Okay, so I guess there's... Maybe I didn't record or trace this very well. I'm going to kind of refer to my guide here. Oh, Lisa says, make it a size bigger than I normally wear. That's a good point. So that's the tricky part. So I don't make clothing ever, especially from vintage patterns. And I just know from like other people talking about it and stuff that like sizing is wackadoodle with these sewing patterns. So it's like, I don't know. I'm going to have to do it based on measurements, I think. But yeah, so the pattern, like all the patterns, I got 2 of these patterns and they're not all the same size in one. I got the small version and the medium version, so I'm going to open both. Oh, and Lisa says the quilting will make the seams bigger. Oh, that's a really good point. And I want it to feel oversized anyway, but I also don't want it to be like, I don't want the shoulders to be going halfway down my arms either. Yeah, exactly, Gina. Gina says they usually run large. So, and I'd like it to run large, but I still want it to not be like weird too. I want it to fit as an oversized coat. I don't want it to look like a giant coat that wasn't intended for me. All right, so I don't have much thread left, but I'm going to attempt to do like one of these stitches, and then there's a little French knot here. I don't usually do French knots till the end, but we're gonna do it here. I'm just trying to go to the next closest area to use up the rest of my thread. But yeah, so I wanna figure that out, get a next step to that plan, that coat plan with my leader and ender pieces, because that would be cool. Okay, patterns do not run with your regular dress size for sure. Yeah, absolutely. So I think we'll have to do real measurements, and even then I think it's wacky. So I don't, in theory I should make a whole muslin, right? Like make a test version and then make adjustments, but ugh, I don't really want to do that. I might just look at the patterns, and maybe we'll trace the pattern even and get it on a different sheet, but then we can kind of like lay them on our body a little bit and get a sense of, are we even close? And maybe I'll just have to make a similar size anyway for any of the quilts. So technically, really, I just want to know how big of pieces I need to make. And they're probably not that different from coat to coat. I mean, they're probably like, within an inch or two, right? So that's not going to really affect me making these quilt pieces, because I'll make them bigger anyway. So for step 1, it won't really matter what size we go with, but for real fitting. it's gonna matter a lot. And maybe I will make a muslin, just a test pattern. That's like 8 steps down the road. I'm not ready for that yet. I'm getting a whole lot farther on the bottom of this. We might actually finish this bottom. I was not expecting that. I was thinking we'd get like to right here, but we're getting like way far into this. That's fun. Oh, that is how you make linces. That's how I make the bodices for my silverware bodices for dresses. Oh, so that's awesome. So you make them, what, by doing just a muslin first? Is that kind of what you're saying? So make the muslin and just kind of work from there. That's kind of what I'm wondering. Sounds like extra work, but it's important work too. I'm excited though for it. I think it'll be fun. I think we might have just enough for this. Oh, Lynn says yes. So yes, do the muslin first. Yeah, that's just good practice anyway. Might as well make it fit. It's something I do want to get good at. The muslin gives you practice putting the pieces together too. That's true. It's true. Just one of those extra things. But yeah, you're right. And it is something I want to be better at or know anything about. Lynn says it's worth the extra time. Yep, I think we should do that. There's nothing, Marie says, there's nothing worse than completing a wearable and then it doesn't fit. That's the truth. I got to remember that. That's just like, yeah, I mean, I want to wear this coat outside, like whenever I go out, like to the garden or anywhere. So, it'd be super sad if it was just weird and awkward. I mean, it'll be oversized, but oversized doesn't necessarily mean it just doesn't fit. The proportions still got to be right. All right, we got that little line done. I was not expecting that. I'm going to weave in the end, though, now, because I think we're pretty much close to what we can do there. Okay. Eleanor says, measure a coat you have that fits. Oh, I do not have a coat that works like this one does. Does it have buttonholes? That might be difficult in quilted fabric. I mean, so the ones I've seen, so like that person, the psychic outlaw person, she does snaps. And the way that I saw she does her snaps, so the snaps are just on one side, and then the other side she had it on like some of that gross grain ribbon, or like a special snap ribbon or something. So she sewed that into the quilt, like this like gross grain ribbon with the snaps in it. So that would add extra stability to it too. So I thought, oh, that's a good idea. So maybe doing that, like not putting the snaps, like doing snaps, first of all, I like snaps instead of buttons, and then not doing it directly into the quilt, doing it on that gross grain ribbon and then sewing that ribbon into the edging. I think that's kind of my plan in my head right now. Again, about 20 steps down the road once I get to that, but you know, you do have to think about all those things beforehand, and that is what I'm thinking, is just like those gross grain ribbon snappy things, you know, whether I have to make those myself or what. What about making loops and have, long buttons like a toggle style? Marie, that is a really cute idea too. So that's definitely, I like that as an option as well. That'd be really kind of fun too. There's lots of ways to make those little loops and stuff too. I don't know, we will see. I will be happy if I get the proportions right on this thing. I'll be happy if I still have to make all these pieces, right? So I have to, all these like leaders and enders, I'll be happy if we manage to get enough of those. Okay, we are going to do a little bit more tonight. I'm not sure if we'll finish what we're working on. I'm sort of tempted to just kind of finish up this kind of bare line that we stopped here. So we could go zoop, zoop, 3. I wish we could end up here, because then we could start here. Let's go reverse. How do we start here and end up there? So we could go here. 1. Well, it doesn't really get us there. 2. And then we could jump and do 3. So 1, we could start here at 1, then jump ahead to 3, and then jump. I'm gonna just start right here. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then if we end up here and still have stitches to do left, I'm gonna just start these. That's my plan. Mapping it out. I like to map it out. Sometimes it's not perfect. All right. We've been going through this thread though really quick. So and I think it's because of the sewing method. I mean, we're just kind of cruising along with the sewing method. I feel like we got a lot more done tonight than I was expecting, which is pretty cool. But, you know, we also did the things to make it feel like we've done a lot by just doing these outlines. So I feel like if this got wet and this is all we were left with, we could probably figure out a design to do with it. I guess I didn't do like the base of this yet. That'll be next. We'll come back and do that. I don't think we'll get that far tonight, though. We're going to just finish up a few of these lines and call it an evening. I think the June bugs are starting to hit the window. It's dark outside now, and my little light on in here is attracting all the bugs. We just started to get the June bugs, which I think are kind of giant, stupid drones, basically. They're drones that just fly in any direction and they hit whatever they hit and then they switch directions. That's my description of June bugs. They're giant and slow drones. Marie says, don't bring up root beer again. Yeah, those toggles look like little root beer barrels. I know, we've had a whole 2 days of root beer now. Root beer conversation. It's funny. Alright, almost done here. I don't think we're even gonna have enough thread to make it all the way back like what I said. So we'll I think do the second, there's a second backstitch line here. I think we'll do that with the rest of the thread we have. And then we'll call it an evening, I think. We are definitely stitching faster using the sewing method. All right, my phone is a little low battery, so hopefully we don't die in the next couple minutes here. Chad was all over out and about today, so I got to see him a whole bunch today. Chad the kitty. If you don't know who Chad is, it's the kitty cat, my parents' cat. The outdoor kitty that will grace you with his presence. We saw him in the morning before going to pick strawberries and a little bit, well. Oh yeah, we're playing phone chicken for sure, which is dumb because it's plugged in, but the cord I have is just the worst. I've been looking. We're trying to make the decision. Me and my brother are, and my other brother already made the decision, but we're trying to make the decision of should we get a new phone or not. Me and my brother both have like the oldest phone you can have for the trade-in, to like trade it in for a new one. If we wait any longer, our phones will be too old to trade in. So we're like, should we trade in our phones? I mean, my phone I can't take photos on anymore. I can't take video on anymore because it's just too old and full. So who knows? Anyway, this actually one is getting a little older too. But the cords don't charge well. think we'll be fine, but it's always tricky. All right, definitely using this thread up faster than I thought. It's this sewing method. I barely ever use the sewing method, especially for backstitch like this. So this is the jam. I wanted to get better at it, and you know what? I honestly think it's the idea of the looser fabric in the hoop. I was having real trouble with the sewing method before I realized from the hand quilting that I needed my fabric a whole lot looser in the hoop. And ever since I started that with the sewing method, the in and out of stitching, like where I'm going in and out at the same time, the looser fabric has been making a huge difference. I'm really liking it. And it really is a ton faster. We're getting a lot done tonight. But again, it's not as comfortable for me because I haven't learned it that way. So I'm just trying to, accuracy of where my stitch goes is my biggest issue. And I'm just trying to get a little bit better with that. And the loose fabric is definitely helping. All right, there's that second line. This is looking great. I have a little thread left. I think I'm gonna jump down. We'll weave in the back of this little piece of thread here, just so I'm not jumping around. I mean, we don't have much thread at all, so we're gonna make like 2 stitches here. But I think I'll make a lazy daisy stitch here. Gosh, this might be my only stitch actually. We'll do a single lazy daisy stitch, or well, I guess it's a single chain stitch then. And then I'm probably gonna weave in the end of this because I don't think I'm gonna get another one out. Fuzzle. Okay, so there. We need an anchor stitch to hold that loop down. Just on the other side of that loop. There we go, a single lazy daisy stitch. So we got we got every stitch in here now. We have our running stitch, our back stitch, a couple French knots, and one little tiny lazy daisy stitch there. So I think I'm gonna weave in my end, and we'll call it an evening, but I am very happy with how much we got done here. We're just kind of cruising through. So tomorrow, yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday. So tomorrow, I think we'll just have to start filling in this detail. Gosh, maybe we will get really close to finishing this on Friday yet. That'd be pretty cool. Oop, there we go. Let's snip this, and I think we're good. So again, I super duper appreciate you guys joining me during these live streams, especially when, you know, I know it's a little more awkward when I'm on location here. But I'm glad I'm still able to do it here. So, all right, there's where we left off. I think we'll go on our whatever our whim is tomorrow, but right now I'm thinking, oh, let's finish this bottom area. We could just finish this whole bottom area, fill in some of this detail, and maybe we'll end up on this text on Friday. Maybe we'll just like finish it up then. It'd be really awesome. Correct, Marie. So not on Thursday. We actually have like a little meeting here. So tomorrow, which is Wednesday, so we'll be here Wednesday, and then not Thursday, but then I'll be back on Friday for sure. And then next week, Monday, we'll be at I'll be back home, so it'll be our normal schedule. So all right, I'm gonna flip you guys around. Okay, so hello again. Thank you again so much. Here's just kind of the look from far away. I think that blue is really pretty. It's that classic blue work look. It's going to be gorgeous in the quilt too. I think it's just going to pop, but still be kind of like subtle. It's going to be just traditional, pretty, and what better than a coffee cup or a teacup for that. I don't mind looking at that at all. So, all right, you guys, thank you again. And thanks again for visiting penguinandfish.com. We just got that new site up, and your orders are going out, and I appreciate it a ton, and thanks for your feedback on that for penguinandfish.com. And I will see you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central Time again. So have a great evening, everyone. Good night.